Hello everyone, it's Deanna from deannacamille.com and coming back to update you on my journey with Toastmasters. So I had my first speech with Toastmasters. This was actually a couple of weeks ago. And so what I'm going to do here is I actually recorded it so you guys could actually watch the speech that I gave to my local Toastmasters group. And then afterwards I will let you know what was the feedback that I received from the group members in terms of the things that I should focus on moving forward. So hope you enjoy. Here is my speech. Thank you, Master Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Hi, I am Deanna. It's pretty common that when you meet someone for the first time, one of the main questions that you're asked is, what do you do? Well, if someone were to ask me, what do you do? I would probably respond that I'm an event planner at Foundation Software. I coordinate meetings and conferences for our clients, and I organize our trade show participation for about 50 industry events a year. I might also mention that I have my own business. I offer training and consulting for speakers and for those in the event industry. I really don't like the what do you do question, and there's a few reasons why. One, if you ask someone what do they do as one of the first things to get to know them, you're almost insinuating that their work is who defines them as a person. Frequently, someone may answer, I'm a doctor, not I practice medicine. Or I'm a teacher, not I educate the youth. When you focus so much on a job title or a job description, it's a really limited view of an individual. Now, I've told you all that I'm an event planner. Does that mean anything to you in terms of who I am as a person? Absolutely not. The other thing I dislike about asking what someone does for a living when you first meet them, it's usually a tool to ascribe value to that person. This is why some people may treat a custodian different than they treat a CEO, or a waitress different than they would treat the owner of the restaurant. Sometimes asking what people do is just a way to classify and sometimes discriminate. So what are some other questions you can ask someone when you're trying to get to know them for the first time? What's something that's brought you joy this week? Can you imagine if someone asked you that when you first met them? Instantly, you're going to smile and think about a happy memory, and you're going to connotate that happy memory with this person you just met as your first impression. Who is a public figure that you admire? This can help you understand someone's passions. You know, what are their politics? What are their social causes that they're really passionate about? Or what are the things that entertain them? What kind of media do they like to watch? It can also help you understand a little bit more about what motivates them and what they ascribe to be as a person. Do you have any pets? Now, I've come to learn that there's really only 3 types of people when it comes to animals. Those that hate animals and want nothing to do with them under any circumstances. Then there's some that like animals but could take them or leave them. And then there are those who have fur babies. There's really no in between and no gray area there. Asking someone if they have pets is a really non-intrusive way to find out about their family. Because if someone has pets, most likely for them, their pets are members of their family. Now, I had to add a question like this due to the times right now. But what do you miss most about pre-COVID times? This can just be a way to connect with someone over a shared experience. Because everyone in the world right now is experiencing COVID, but all in our own unique and personal ways. You can also ask, what is something you're grateful for? Now, this is going to really help you understand someone's values and what's important to them. Typically, people will say family, my health, financial stability, but every once in a while, you might get a really insightful answer, and it can be a window into that person's soul. Now, let's apply those questions to me. What's something that brought me joy this week? Now, I have 2 daughters, they're 8 and 10, but they currently live all the way in Europe with their dad. On Saturday, I had a FaceTime call with my kids in Spain, and my parents who live in North Carolina. We were on FaceTime for 2 hours, and I lost track of how many times I laughed hysterically. Most notably during our impromptu singing competition, but it definitely brought me joy this week. Who is someone that I admire in the public? I follow a comedian on social media called Kev on Stage, and not only is he hilarious and very entertaining, his content always brings joy to my life, but I really appreciate and admire his dedication to his dreams, his hard work and sacrifice for over 15 years to make it possible, and the fact that he's brought his friends along with him. He makes content with his best friends, and they're all living their dreams and earning a living at doing so, and I just really find that very motivational. Do I have any pets? Now, I had a dog when I was growing up, and I really did enjoy having a dog, but after having children, I realized that pets are no longer my ministry. I already have 2 mouths to feed. I do not need a third. So I'm very firmly in group number 2. What do I miss most about pre-COVID? And the key thing would be freedom. I think we all can agree that we took for granted the ability to move about and live our lives as we wanted to day to day. I think when things are eased and the restrictions are kind of released, hopefully we'll all be a little bit more intentional and only spend our time on the things that fulfill us, give us joy, or truly give back to the world. What am I grateful for? Over the past year, I am grateful for growth, personally. I've had a lot of personal development, and that's actually what brought me here to Toastmasters with you all. I want to give you guys one option if someone were to ask you that question. What do you do the first time you meet them? You want to know how to respond? What do? I do a lot, but I'd rather tell you who I am. Thank you, Toastmasters, Mr. Toastmaster. So that was the full speech that I gave to my Toastmasters Club a couple weeks ago. Definitely drop your comments below what you thought. If you have any other additional getting to know you type questions, would love to hear them. So what I'm going to do now is kind of go over the feedback that I received from group members in terms of what I should focus on moving forward with my journey. So I got some good feedback on my vocal variety, and vocal variety just means changing your tempo, changing high pitch, low pitch, emphasis on words, just how you change, like not being monotonous, essentially. That's what vocal variety is. So I got good comments on that, but kind of a reminder to maybe focus on it even a little bit more, putting some more emphasis on some words. The next thing that I was told was sometimes I speak fast when ending a sentence. So kind of where I'm making a point and then I kind of run on like this and I know I do that. So that was a good reminder to just slow down. Another thing I got feedback was to take pauses, take more pauses. So we are timed on our Toastmaster speeches. I was given for an icebreaker speech, which is the first one you give to your group, you're given 4 to 6 minutes. And when I was rehearsing it and practicing, I kept going over that 6-minute mark. So I know that I was rushing at certain points because I wanted to make sure I came under time, and I actually still went over time a little bit. I mean, it is what it is. So for the group meetings, it's not a huge deal, but Toastmasters does do competitions. And if you ever take a speech to a competition, timekeeping is essential to, getting a good score, or if you want to, win or rank, or what's the word? God, brain fart. But you know what I'm saying. If you want to do well at competition, if you want to, be a finalist, something like that, then timekeeping is really essential. So I was trying to keep track of time, and I think that led me to speed up certain points just because I knew where I was in the speech. And the timekeeper during Toastmasters, the timekeeper will flash like a green when you're at like the 4-minute mark, a yellow when you're at the 5-minute mark, and then once you've hit time, you get a red. So especially once I saw that yellow and I knew I had like 1 minute left, I definitely sped up at points. So that's good feedback for me to keep in mind, especially I think timekeeping is really important on the front end when you're creating your speech, because you should know from a time marker standpoint where you should be the beginning, middle, and end. So there's things I could have cut out from it when I was creating it to make sure that I didn't go over. So that was good feedback. Some other tips I got. Well, again, take a breath, watch your time, because the timing will dictate your eligibility to win. Also with Toastmasters, when you're giving an official speech to a Toastmasters group or a competition, you don't end it with thank you. So of course that doesn't apply in the real world, but with Toastmasters, just their kind of rule of etiquette, their rule of thumb is when you end a speech, you say, Toastmaster. So that was something I didn't know yet, and I learned with the feedback that I got. Oh, the other thing was, so our meetings are all virtual. They're held via Zoom, so you're on a computer, obviously, and so I presented virtually. I did not stand for this. I sat, as I am right now, and the comment I got was that some of the gestures I was doing were out of the camera lens. So some of the things, the physical movements that I was making to, make emphasis or drive certain points home weren't really captured because, when you're on Zoom and you're using a virtual presentation, you've just got a smaller space to work with. So you have to be really cognizant of that. So the suggestion I got is maybe in the future, if I do use my hands a lot, which I do, you make gestures to standing and making sure that your computer is in full view so that the audience can actually see the gestures that you're making is really important. So that was the feedback I got. I was really excited. My goal moving forward is to do at least one speech a month, depending on how busy I am. So we'll try to do one more in March, and we'll capture that one as well, and hopefully do like a side-by-side to see what I've improved upon, what other areas I still need to work upon, and I just want to basically benchmark my journey along the way, and hopefully you will join in. So let me know what you thought. If you have any other questions that you would add when you're meeting someone for the first time, we'd love to hear those. But thanks for watching. Bye.